Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to kick things off with something fun and super interesting. And how about we start with a little trivia question? Are you ready? Okay, put on your thinking cap. Which movie do you think was the first ever sold as a DVD in the United States? Okay, think about that. Which movie was the first ever sold as a DVD? Was it Star Wars, E.T., or Twister? All right, here's a clue. It was set in Iowa. Okay, you know the answer. It's Twister. That's right. It was released on DVD. You know the year? 1997. Okay, but why Twister? Oh, it was those intense tornado scenes, the dynamic audio, and they say releasing it on DVD just showed off all the video and audio quality of this brand new format, which reminds me of a joke that you can tell the kids. Now, I can't promise you that they're not going to be groaning. Are you ready? Okay, did you hear that Rick Astley is really stingy with his Disney DVD collection? Yeah. He's going to share Toy Story, but he's never, ever going to give you up. Ooh, I know that was a bad one. And on that happy note, welcome. I'm Kim Commando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And let me tell you, you're about ready to get more tech smarts because every single thing in our lives is now a tech thing. And you can find my award-winning show in over 420 top stations throughout the United States. And we're also streaming in your favorite radio app. Just go ahead and search for my last name, Commando. And I need two things from each and every one of you. Number one, the best way for us to continue to grow the show is for you to just tell one friend. That's it. And number two, tell me more what you'd like more of. You can drop me a question over at commando.com. Just hit that link that says Ask Kim. And I'd like to thank Oracle for helping to make this show possible. Hey, it's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. Accelerate your AI workload today. Now you can take a free test drive at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim. Alrighty then, every single day, I head down a list of over 35 different places looking for just the tech news that you need to know about. And here are the top 5 things that are happening right now. I'm going to start with cars. Yeah, not too many years ago, Americans look forward to Detroit's finest unveiling of their newest and sleekest. But we're living in a world now where not a lot of people want a brand new car, electric or gas. Get a load of this. The average age of a car in America is just over 12 and a half years. That's the oldest ever. One reason, of course, is inflation coupled with high interest rates. Yes, okay, that adds up to huge monthly payments. But it's not just that. There is a large group of Gen Zers who constitute what's being called new car deniers. Yeah, they just don't want a new car. It's not only the money. They don't like engines that shut down at stoplights. They don't want any touchscreens. They don't want a digitally connected car that exposes all their personal information to the Chinese, or worse, their insurance company, or maybe even the government. And because of all this new tech, a new car becomes outdated quickly. And they don't like that either. I hope that Detroit is listening because I am a total car gal. All right, moving on to number 2, AI chatbots. No matter which one, they only know, well, I guess if that's the right word, what it's read somewhere else. Or perhaps AI knows only what it's stolen or plagiarized. Now, you can bet that even though AI can pass a bar or medical exam, no one paid the writers or the authors of all the data it has absorbed. So, could it be that AI is guilty of the biggest data heist in history? Yes, we're rapidly reaching a point where AI has scanned every single shred of published material it can find. And what could be, I guess you'd call it the biggest David versus Goliath story. A number of artists have launched infringement lawsuits against the largest AI companies. I know, good luck with that. But meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports that painters, photographers, and other artists who've just flocked to Instagram to gain visibility and maybe start selling some of their stuff, they're now fleeing. Why? To prevent the app's parent company, Meta, from using their art to train AI models for free. Okay, great move if you're one of them. Moving on to number 3, how many cameras are watching you at any given moment? Comparitech is a cybersecurity research company. They say that the average U.S. city has about 6 surveillance cameras per 1,000 people. Now, I want you to remember that. 6 cameras per 1,000 people. Now, if you think that's a lot, wait until you hear about Atlanta. Atlanta tops every other city in the United States when it comes to camera surveillance. 124 cameras per 1,000 people. Wow. Okay, so what makes Atlanta such a huge hotspot for surveillance? Well, it's all in part because of Atlanta law enforcement uses tech from a company called Fusus. It's a system that links everyday citizens' personal cameras into this big surveillance network. So say you have a camera at your place or your business. If you give permission to your local police to use it, they can access all nearby registered cameras to scope out the scene. Now, law enforcement agencies all around the country are now tapping into Fusus, including Illinois. It's supposed to make tracking down crime far easier. But, I have some questions when it comes to privacy. Okay. How does Fusus use AI? It doesn't use AI for facial recognition, but it's used to, here's an exact quote, recognize weapons, vehicles of interest, and etc. Ooh, I never like to see etc. I wonder where all that footage is going. I checked the FAQs on their site. No word on that. But let me know what you guys and gals think about this. All right, moving on to number 4, a story from Chicago. Marissa Garrod came back from a family vacation with her kids. A few days later, she got a notification on her iPhone. An Apple AirTag was totally following her. Marissa was driving at the time. She got a notification with an alert that said she could play a noise to find it. She stopped the car. She played the beep. And then she heard it coming from underneath her car. Yeah, it was there where she found an AirTag glued to the car's undercarriage. So Melissa went straight to the local police department. Good move. And shortly after that, she was able to figure out who had been stalking her and her family. It was somebody that she knew, and she knows that she's lucky. But thanks to Apple and Android's new update, it alerts you when an AirTag is following you. She was able to stop the stalking. But what if you don't have a phone that has an alert like this? Okay, and you still find an AirTag? Here's what I want you to do. Okay, no, I'm not saying put a tinfoil hat on, but it's pretty close. I want you to wrap the AirTag in aluminum foil, no gaps. That'll block the radio signal. So whoever is tracking you has no idea that they've been thwarted. Then call the police or go to the local police station. Apple will give law enforcement the info that they need about who registered the AirTag to help kickstart an investigation. And finally, this coming in at number 5. Okay, for so many years, the conventional wisdom was that using our smartphones or our tablets just before bed would keep us awake. But what if conventional wisdom is wrong? Experts claim that it's all the blue light. It all started with the National Institute of Health, or the NIH. But in reality, scientists say there's no real reason linking smartphone screens and iPads and tablets to sleep disturbances. In fact, 11 studies say that the blue light story is simply hogwash. Okay, so what's really going on is that we get so engrossed with what we're reading or watching on these screens that we simply just cannot put it down to get a good night's rest. So in short, we're just staying up way too late. So tonight, turn off all the tablets and screens and just go to sleep. My son Ian is my pride and joy and brings fresh ideas to everything we do. But here's the thing. My number one priority is not business. It's protecting my family's future. Life is unpredictable. And as we start a new year, I know one thing is for sure. I'm prepared and my family is prepared for whatever comes my way because I have a term life insurance policy and you should consider having one too. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it easy to get term life insurance in minutes. It's affordable, straightforward, and gives peace of mind knowing your family is financially protected, no matter what happens. Plus, Fabric has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, so you're working with a company you can trust. If you're a parent, you owe it to your family. Don't wait. Join thousands of parents who secured their family's futures. Apply now at meetfabric.com/Kim. That's meetfabric.com/Kim. meetfabric.com/Kim.
Policies issued by Western Southern Alliance Life Insurance Company. Not available in certain states. Prices are subject to underwriting and health questions.
Now, Kim Komando Today is a podcast that you can get wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Kim Komando Today. Makes sense, right? Komando. But if you're more into the visual effect, then you can watch us do Kim Komando Today Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2:30 p.m. on the East Coast. If you're in the middle of the country, you got to figure out the math yourself. But again, that's youtube.com/Kim Komando. You can watch it live or on demand. Again, youtube.com/Kim Komando. And how about we get started with Shauna in Atlanta, Georgia?
My question is, my mom, sister, and I have started a women's clothing boutique, and we've been in business almost 7 years. And we just had a lot of ups and downs in those years, and we're now in some debt. So we're just trying to figure out how we can get out of debt and start making a profit, especially after 7 years, or if we should close the business. Like, we're just at that crossroads right now.
And so in that 7 years, has the business grown overall?
Yes. At the beginning, with COVID, actually COVID year was our biggest year.
Was it?
But since then, it seems like it's just gone down.
Is it? So are you just selling it through your site?
We sell through our site. We also do pop-up shops, and we also have, we're in a antique store. We have a booth inside the antique store. Okay. So we can actually send someone there. I know it's kind of weird in an antique store.
Hey,
but
you know what? So what kind of,
it's our local.
What's the gist of the clothing? Is it vintage or?
No, it's mostly for working women between the ages of 30 and 60, I'd say. Mm-hmm.
And then do you sell your stuff on Amazon or on Etsy or anything like that?
No, the fees are just so high. We were doing eBay because we have our website through Shopify, and we were doing eBay through there, and the fees were just too much.
But here's the deal, is that if you are at least making some money outside the fees, then any dollar is a good dollar, right? You may not be necessarily making all the money as you would other places, but if you could set up shop on Amazon and Etsy, is that you have the potential of gaining a new customer. And then once you gain the new customer, that's when you really get into some email marketing. Are you doing any type of email marketing?
Yes. Yeah, we do have a newsletter that we send out, try to at least once a month. Okay. We do have a social media person. She's kind of expensive, but she does our website as well.
There's something that's going on right now in the world, and I know you know about it. It's called artificial intelligence. And I will tell you that our web traffic is going down. And web traffic around the globe is going down because people are not using search sites anymore. I mean, think about it.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
Do you really go to Google as much as you used to?
No.
Okay. And so it's not just you, it's everybody. And it's a big fundamental shift on how we do business and how we buy things. And that's why I was thinking, put all your stuff up on Amazon. Put all your stuff up on Etsy because people are still going there to buy things.
Right.
And with social media, there's nothing like a good, crazy viral video.
Right.
That can garner attention. Now, whether or not it garners sales is a whole nother issue.
Right. I do reels all the time, and I put those on. I try to do it once a day. I put them on.
Are they getting any views?
Yes.
Okay. How many views are you getting?
Yep. Probably, I would say 300 to 500 views. Not a lot, but...
Okay, well, that's good.
It's actually grown.
No,
yeah.
That's good. And keep doing that. Keep doing that. And, and of course, the crazier the reels, the more attention they get.
Okay.
And so it's always hard to sell something in a reel because it's so short, right?
Right.
And so that's where I'm glad you're doing email. You might want to bump that up to more than once a month, especially if you can have any type of discount, sales, anything that you can boost the sales.
Yeah, it seems like that's the only thing they respond to is the sale emails.
Exactly. People want a deal. Yeah. They do. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at what we call here CTAs, calls to actions in the newsletters, is that, there's today it says save 60%. Okay. If we say show our sponsors some love to help keep us in business, people don't click. It's like, okay.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But if they can save some money, that becomes, something that they're going to want. Now, as far as your finances and your products, I want you to look at your products and identify what are the top selling products. And then use ChatGPT and say, these are my top selling products. What are complementary products with this? Or what if somebody bought this? What else would they want to buy? I have found great success in that, picking out products to put in our newsletters from Amazon.
Okay.
And so, because what happens is that with you and probably your mom and your sister, is that you guys are so close to this store that it's kind of hard because you can't see outside of it. So,
exactly.
So if you can get on AI and say, be a marketing expert, be a product expert, and these are my top sellers. This is who I'm trying to target. This is it. What else? What could be complementary to these type of things? And you might find it has some answers. Okay, so 30 grand in debt. Are you guys paying yourself salaries?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Because I'm going to say
our gas money.
Okay.
We just use,
Okay. So with 30,000, is there any way you could reduce the inventory, reduce The rent, any costs?
Really, the only thing would be inventory. The rent has gone up where we are, of course, and they've moved 3 times. So a lot of people aren't finding their new location. I think that's another problem. So we're just constantly posting on Facebook to say where we are. But I think that's the biggest problem. A lot of people haven't found their new place.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can also target people on Facebook ads. Have you done that?
Mm-hmm.
You
Not yet, because we don't really know how to do them. I know you have to know exactly how to do them.
Then,
do it.
It might be interesting for you to also take a look at local radio. It's very affordable. Very affordable.
Okay.
At least to get people there. But let's go back to the debt that you have. I would go to whoever the landlord is and say, listen, I'm in debt. I don't want to lose my store. What can you do to help me out? And anybody who you owe money to, even the cable company, okay? Anybody.
Okay.
And say, even your social media manager, say, I need to cut some costs here. What can we reduce your hours? You'll be amazed at how many people that will say, you know what, I can do that. Let me help out. Let me help you.
Okay.
And let me tell you also a secret that even today I go to cable companies and lawyers and I don't have a landlord anymore, but anybody, accountants, no matter who it is, to say, what can we do to reduce costs because they're getting out of line? And a financial advisor, a business, whoever it is, look at Shopify and even call them up and say, listen, we need to cut costs here. Because here's the thing that you have to remember, Shauna, is that it's always easier to keep a current customer than to go find a new customer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So they're going to want to keep you. So, so think about what else your social media manager could be doing. Look at your biggest and nearest competitor. Look at their website, look at their social media profile, see how they're doing it. See what they're doing. Set up a store on Amazon, Etsy. If you can make just a few more dollars, that's another dollar in your pocket that you can go ahead and start paying down that debt. Of course, you can always look at small business loans and grants and crowdfunding, but I think what we want to do is just focus now. Let's increase sales, decrease costs, and let's get ourselves positioned and primed for Q4 because that's when you're going to make all the money. And don't forget, you can email these people more than once a month. I'd say once a week. Give them a special, give them a deal. Make them come down for a free hot dog or whatever it may be. So, Shauna, think about all that. If you need any more help, I'm right here for you. Okay, I mentioned radio commercials. So let me tell you more. Endorsement radio. That's when the host, someone like me, tells you about his or her experience with a product, or in your case, your store. Really powerful. There's a reason why it's been working since the 1940s. So, Shauna, you're in WSB radio and TV territory. Now, I just wonder if you get the host to shop your store, then wear your clothes, and then talk about how great the experience is and how wonderful and beautiful they look. Just give a call out to the WSB sales department or do it online, just fill out a form. I think this could be a total home run for you, a total difference in your business. All right, let's switch gears and let's talk about Amazon Alexa and how you can use them as an intercom system. You can build your own, like those old school ones, but you need a few Amazon Echoes. The $60 Echo Dot, it has a built-in clock. And the Echoes have to be linked to the same Amazon or Amazon household account, and also on the same Wi-Fi network. And then once you have all that, open up the Alexa app and then tap devices. You're going to see all your speakers. And that's where you're going to give them names like kitchen or living room or bedroom. Then to just start a direct convo with another room, just say, Alexa, drop in on whatever the name of that room is. And then for whole house announcements like, we're going now, kids. You better get to the car. Just say, Alexa, announce, followed by your message, and then every device is going to broadcast that. Yes, you have a futuristic intercom system right there in your house. All right, if you think that you just found the love of your life online, the person that you are going to live out to every sunset and sunrise, well, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but there are a lot of scammers online, so I've got 4 telltale signs that the scammers are using to make you fall in love. And then later on, how the airlines are changing and what they're doing with all of your data. And before we get to that and all of your phone calls, let's talk about your phone number. It seems like everyone nowadays wants your cell phone number, from online shops to people that you just don't want to give it out to. So that's why you need a second phone number. Now, what this means is that you don't have to carry like a second phone, because that would be, what a nightmare. But what I want you to do is get a free disposable phone number from Google Voice. Now, your Google Voice number lets you send text messages, phone calls, you can listen to voicemails, even transcribe voicemails and then send it to your email. So using the app, your Google Voice number rings on your existing phone. Now, when you sign up, you can even pick your own area code. A friend of mine in Phoenix has a Washington, D.C. area code. So he says, oh, this is going to impress a lot of people. He can say, just call my Washington, D.C. office, please. Oh my gosh, he's a little funny like that. Anyway, head to voice.google.com. Once again, that's voice.google.com. Now, you do need to link your primary phone number to your Google Voice account, but now you can hand out your second phone number to marketing companies, creeps, folks you don't really know enough to give your real phone number to. Maybe you're selling something online. You get my gist. Once again, that address is voice.google.com. All right, let's see. Sue in Raleigh, North Carolina. Glad to have you on board with us.
Oh, I'm excited. From one of your newsletters, which I read every day, you had something about a guest network for your different things that you have in your house, rather than putting it through the same network. Now, I have an Asus RT AC5300. It's about 6 years old, but it seems to still work really well. But I have CASA, which is the TP-Link units for turning on lights on and off, and Blink. I have 10 units on the Blink, and I have 5 Alexa units on.
Well, you know what? You're just wired and fired over there, Sue. That's awesome.
I know. At one time, I was an early adopter of everything, and that's what happened is I'm, getting older and the brain's not working as well. And
no, I don't know. You know what? You can use that excuse on somebody else. Okay, it's not. I'm not falling for this crap. I mean, I'm older, Kim, and I can't think, and my memory's gone, and I've got 22 devices on my network. No, doesn't go together. Let me tell you what you need. First of all, a router that's 6 years old, too old. Okay. Probably isn't getting the right firmware updates anymore. You can try to see if it does. So the whole idea with the guest network is that we're going to put all your Internet of Things on a separate network so that if, in fact, one of them gets hacked, it doesn't get to your primary network and all your important files that are on that network. So I'm going to send you a link to the newer router that will work with everything that you have. And it also has a guest network. And, we're on Wi-Fi 6 now. I don't know what you're on, but it's probably not there anymore. Now, did you say you had a TP-Link? Did you have a TP-Link?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what I want you to do is, Maddie, I know you're screening today. Give Sue the link to that TP-Link AX5400. That's the model number. TP-Link AX5400. Well, I want you to get a 5400. It's a Wi-Fi 6 router. And it's about, it's about $600 or, no, not 600. I'm sorry. It's about $160. And so it's got USB ports for media sharing. It's got some AV parental controls are free. But I like that it will work with all your other existing TP-Links. 6 years on a router, folks. Time to like turn it in and get a new one, especially if it's not getting any more firmware updates. And Sue, thank you for your call. Hey, listen, I got to tell you about a brand new sponsor, here.com/Kim. I get notes all the time from folks of all ages experiencing hearing loss. Long gone are the days of clunky, obvious hearing aids. There's a new, better way. These innovative devices from here.com are practically invisible, and they fit comfortably in or behind your ear. Their breakthrough German technology offers crystal clear speech understanding, Bluetooth, and they're even rechargeable with insurance, flexible financing options, and both telehealth and in-person care. Getting a pair of award-winning hearing aids has never been easier. Best of all, you can try it at no risk for 45 days. Are you ready to hear the difference? Join over 385,000 happy customers. Go to here.com/Kim to get a free hearing evaluation. That's here.com/Kim, HEAR.com/Kim. All right, you're talking to a new guy or gal online. It's fantastic. Oh, you have so much in common. You are just falling head over heels. Well, it could just be a classic romance scam. Now, romance scammers are pretty predictable, and let's break down their playbook. Number one, they move way too fast, and the goal is to make you feel like you're in a fairy tale and to get you hooked. Number two, nonstop compliments. Oh, you're so wonderful. You're so incredible. You're so beautiful. I can envision my life with you forever. Maybe not. 3, speaking of the future, they do paint a dreamy future together. It's all about getting you invested into the fantasy. And number 4, suddenly they're in a crisis. They lost their job. They're stuck in a foreign country. They want to tug at your heartstrings, and then they ask for money, promising it's just a loan, just a loan. Okay, here's a complete spoiler. You're not going to get the money back. You aren't. So keep your wits about you and do not get taken. All right, Adam in Battle Creek, Michigan. Hi there, Adam.
All right. Well, I'm getting into basically doing 3D modeling for 3D printers as well as certain CAD machines, which basically carve an object out of, it uses like a drilling system that carves an object out of a material, which can vary from metal to wood and as well as other objects. And I'm trying to learn how to do to design a 3D image, and it is really hard to learn and to really get good at it to be able to make what you want. So I was hoping that there was AI software where I could describe what I'm wanting. Like, say, let's just say I'm trying to make a Halloween of a human skeleton. You know, it would be able to, make that. Hey, let's make it, so big. Or, realistic human foot, go through the details. I want to make a birdhouse, whatever object that I try to want to make, and have the AI help basically create the object and then help me do the necessary alterations to it to suit my needs.
Yeah, you can do that. It's. I don't think the technology is quite what you're saying, meaning like I can just type in what I want and then bingo bango, it's just going to magically appear. I mean, if you look at where we are at with creating just regular images using AI, have you tried that at ChatGPT yet?
No, I have not messed around with any of the AIs at all.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, what I'm trying to do is more or less 3D model.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that if you had tried it, okay, and if you go if you go to ChatGPT, and if you look at the latest model, which is, say, ChatGPT-4o, O stands for Omni, and then you just type in a prompt what you want. Say, draw me a picture, because I did this recently for our free newsletter. Draw me a picture of 2 knights that are checking into a hotel, and put in the phrase, "We need a room for 2 nights." Kind of like, like a pun type of thing. Okay. Well, it's not that good. As a matter of fact, it can't spell. It took me like probably 4 or 5 times just to get that image. So what I'm trying to say is that, what we're going to do is now you want AI that can hardly basically do a 1-dimensional image. And then you wanted to create a 3D model just by you saying, create a skeleton for Halloween and make it 14.5 inches tall and 3 inches wide, or whatever it may be, right? But I'm not saying that you shouldn't try it, because it's, where we are right now is in the infancy. And so it seems like every time the AI algorithm and model gets an update, it's a fundamental update. It's not just like a little tiny update. It's like a monumental one. And so there's one tool that you might want to check out. Actually, there's several, but one is called Meshy. It's MESHY. Meshy's free, so it's not going to cost you anything to do it, to play around in it.
I've been working with Blender as what I've been working with as of late, which is also free.
Yes, and Meshy actually integrates with Blender pretty well. So what you're going to be able to actually tie the two together. But it is an AI-powered 3D modeling tool. It does the meshes and renders and all that other great stuff, and it's pretty accurate. But I just don't know if it's quite there yet, where we're talking about like, make me this, and I'm going to sit back and you're going to do all the hard work. If you have some other time and maybe some money on hand, Autodesk has something called Fusion 360 that's been getting a lot of good press lately, as well as something called Rhino 7 with Grasshopper. And those are the two that I've heard a lot about. So try Meshy, because as I said, it does integrate with Blender, and you're already doing that. Autodesk Fusion 360 and then Rhino with Grasshopper. I know I don't name these things, I just talk about them, but don't be disappointed if it doesn't do exactly everything that you want to do at the level that you want it. Because again, we're just not quite there yet with AI. AI is growing like crazy. And every iteration, like I said, it just keeps getting better and better. Adam, thank you for your call today. Oh, another call from Michigan. James in Traverse City, Michigan.
Well, I'm fairly new to the digital phone world, and a lot of things are puzzling to me, which are probably very self-evident to people such as yourself who are much more knowledgeable about this. I follow a lot of things on Facebook, and every now and then things pop up. I think they're trying to tell you how to look for hidden cameras in hotel rooms.
Okay.
There was one just recently. They take a quarter, put it in a wooden clothespin, run it underwater, and then run it along the edge of the mirror. And it says, this is why I don't trust hotels. But nothing has changed or popped up or shown. I have no idea what they're looking for, or how do you know if you found it?
Well, these are basically videos that are made by anybody who can make a video, right? Mm-hmm. They don't need to have any type of expertise, any type of background, because everybody has a phone and they have an idea, and they then become what's called content creators. The content creators make money by the number of people who actually watch, say, a short on YouTube that ends up on Facebook and everywhere else. And the whole idea is to garner your attention, normally using 3 different MOs, fear, sex, or greed. Okay. Mm-hmm. And because those are going back to Madison Avenue days of Mad Men, that those are the 3 premises that can sell anything to just about anybody. So with the mirror, what they're saying is that maybe there's a 2-way mirror in that hotel room. The fact is that you're probably, unless you're staying at some skanky hotel on, that type of that strip at that part of town, I'm not sure if it's going to have a hidden mirror. But most of these videos are done so that this way maybe you can learn something. And some of them are really good. Don't get me wrong. Some of them, you can sit back and go, yeah, you know what? If I am looking for a hidden camera, then I need to get an RF detector. I need to turn off all the lights. I need to look for any type of reflections, any type of blinking lights. And, the idea of looking at outlets and remote controls and everything, because today's computer chips can be so small that you can hide them in just about anything. So a lot of the reels are done for education. Some of the shorts or reels, whatever you want to call them, are done for pranks, make people laugh, to catch a reaction from somebody. Then there are also, the innocent ones where, girls are putting on makeup and women are dressing up like they were back in the 1980s, and they're singing and they're dancing to their favorite 80s tunes, right? And so that's really what the videos are about. Now, if you're wondering if a video is ever legit or anything like that, that's really when you start looking at the comments. And in the comments, you'll see people who said, oh, this is baloney, it doesn't work, and here's why it doesn't work. And if you're ever wondering the legitimacy of, say, something that you see in a reel, I'll tell you a really great place to go is Reddit. You go to reddit.com, and in that search box, you just use a few words that describe that video. You can even use that content creator's name or handle, whatever they're using online. And I guarantee you that somebody on Reddit is having some discussion about that person. So hopefully that helps you out. And welcome to the new world. Yes, where everybody can be an expert on just about anything. I just love to get your phone calls. And if you're ever too shy to come on the show, I get that. So here's where you can leave me your questions. Commando.com. And then there's a big old button that says Ask Kim. You fill that form out. And if you want, we can schedule a time for you to actually have a conversation with me. And I do read every single note that you send me, every single one. Again, that's commando.com with a K, Komando, commando.com. And then there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim. Okay, what's the most invasive thing that could happen the next time you're sitting on an airplane and it's not the person in front of you just reclining, or it's not maybe some screaming baby at the next row over? It's data gathering. Yes, you may not realize that airlines are collecting and tracking your data. I'm talking about, of course, your booking details, your flight, your seat number, your name, your email, your phone number, and your passport are a given, as is the weight of your bag. And depending on the airline, your weight. Yes, some airlines are actually weighing passengers now. Now, what happens if you use the onboard Wi-Fi? Of course, you're going to pay for that, but they're going to track the sites that you visit, what you search for, the apps that you use, and even more is being monitored. Other things that the airlines are collecting on you, I know you're not going to believe this, what you drink or eat, and how often your beverage is empty. Also, your flight history, any complaints to see if you're a good passenger or not, what movies you like to watch, and some in-flight entertainment. So why so focused on flyer data? It's all about the cold, hard cash. It's another way that any company will just repackage all of our data and then just sell it to who knows who. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget, get my newsletter. You can sign up at getkim.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.